shish kebab.
I'm just a soul whose intentions are good.
You're always so hyperbolically violent. You need therapy.
Die, Nazi.
He's not a Nazi, G.I.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Superlair. We are here for the finale of Creature Commandos Season 1. This is Episode 7. JP, welcome to the stream, man. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Looking forward to the finale and seeing where this goes.
Yeah, I'm very curious on how they end all this. We know we are getting a Season 2, so I'm sure they're going to plant seeds for the future, so it should be very interesting. I haven't seen much conversation about this. I've intentionally dodged any spoilers. If there was one episode, I was like, yeah, I'm staying clear from the finale. So I don't really know what to expect. Just what we saw from last week's promo. So
yeah, I haven't seen any spoilers or Easter eggs or anything around. So I'm just curious to see what happens.
you have anything you want to say before we get into this episode? Any theories, any character moments that you're looking for?
I'm just looking forward to seeing the kind of resolution of a few character arcs and seeing how they end up and where everyone finishes. You know, I have some theories about. I think we talked about last week, but I'm just curious. I'm expecting good things because it's James Gunn, and I always know he's going to tell a good story. So I'm sure it's going to be good. And I'm curious to see if there's any Easter eggs for like where this end leaves us going into the next DCU project, which we all know is Superman. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. As we all know, we are all ready for Superman, and it should be very interesting to see if we get any, I don't know, any teases, any cameos. I don't really know what to expect. It's about a 30-minute episode, so that's pretty good.
Cool.
I definitely want them longer, but yeah, I think we're good. Let me send you this Google Meet link, and we can begin. The beginning of the end.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Without further ado, here we go. Creature Commandos Season 1, Episode 7. Hmm. Ghost Rider. Oh my god.
Brilliant.
I was not expecting that reference. That's crazy.
I understood that reference.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Is that who I think it was?
Oh man.
Sucks.
Oh. Hmm. He's alive.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Hey!
Oh yeah,
Yes!
awesome.
I've been wanting to see him for a while. Love it. Mm. Wow.
Wow.
All right. Let me pull up an image and let's talk about this finale, man.
Mm.
It's a terrible, terrible image, but we're gonna have to talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the first one I found, and unfortunately, we're just gonna use that one. Okay, wow. So that was Creature
Cool.
Commandos. That was Creature Commandos season 1. That was the finale, episode 7, and I gotta say, I think it's my favorite of the bunch. I think this is the best one, the most emotionally driven. Everything kind of comes together. And
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts on it, man. I think, and I do have to talk about my negatives because I have a couple that are just like fundamentally about the show as a whole that I just got to get off my chest. But this was like a Nina centric episode, and I've
Yeah.
been wanting to see more of her. And we got her origin, which I thought was beautifully executed. I mean, her father wanted to do nothing more but to help her. Did not see her as, deformed or a creature or anything. He just loved his daughter and went to extreme lengths to try and help her. We got the transformation that I thought that was very, very cool, very interesting. That he went to the extreme, and that's the result of that. He just made her condition, more extreme. She was bullied in school, and I felt really bad. I just, she's very pure of heart. So when you see all that unfold, she doesn't deserve it. It definitely hits you. And the fact that they did this within, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, that it worked. I mean, again, James Gunn is like the master of emotions. Like when the father died, I felt like terrible. It was perfectly executed. And then we get to her death, which, I mean, the lead up, the build up was very, very cool. Like the shot choice of her underwater and the princess above it. Like, I thought that was very visually interesting. She gets shanked, Joker 2 style. And she dies. And I think it works for the story that you feel something when she died, but it's also, it leads me in, it gets into my issues with the show as a whole, which we'll talk about. That these episodes are too short, man. If What If can be around like 30 minutes, then Creature Commandos could have settled for that. And 7 episodes, I don't think was enough. You should have done 8 to 10. You should have done more, because my problem with her death is that we barely spent any time with her. Like, we got the basics, but this was her chance to like truly shine. This was her centric episode, and she just dies off like that. And I'm left a little unsatisfied, because we didn't get, like, there was more to do. There was a lot more for these characters. And it's unfortunately a problem with the runtime and the episode count of this show, that I don't think it reached its full potential. I think there's more. I like the show. I think it was very fun week to week, but it's not a great show. And I think it's fundamentally flawed because of how short it is, because I'm not fully satisfied. When the show ended, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm ready for more. Season 2 is going to offer more and hopefully improve upon it. But I couldn't help but feel a little underwhelmed with her death and with the wrap up, because I just felt like there was more to do that we haven't, we didn't it just didn't reach its full potential. And last thing I'll say on my criticism of the show is that it felt very stagnant in terms of, like, structurally, I like the concept of each episode is focusing on a different monster and a creature. But with animation, I guess with me, it's like, animation is more freeing than live action. You could do a lot more in animation, stylistically, creatively. You can jump from place to place, do all these crazy things. And yet I felt a little stagnant week to week because we were in like the same location, Pakolistan. Like I just feel like we could have done more. Yeah, man, I think emotional moments, they worked, but it's also, on the other hand, I'm left a little underwhelmed, unfortunately. I think you could have done more with this season. And I'll talk about, other details later, but I'll let you go. Like, do you agree with me? Or are you like, hey, I think they did just enough. There's the right balance of everything. I'm very curious on what you think.
Well, I think you got to take into context that nobody knew who these characters were before the show started. The show itself was a bit of a risk because of that. And I guess they didn't want to overcommit to 2 longer episodes with these new characters, I guess. I think that's probably what it was. James Gunn said he just wrote it as 7 episodes because that's what it was when he wrote it. He doesn't have a quota of episodes that he picks beforehand. He just writes what comes to him. But I do think there's elements of truth in what you say, in that, like, you could have made some of the episodes a bit longer. This one, I think, could have been a bit longer. I don't think there's anything bad about the show. Like, the storytelling's really good. You feel something for the characters. I certainly felt something for G.I. Robot and even Dr. Phosphorus last week when we saw his origins and stuff. And
For sure.
and of course Weasel, and this week, as well. It's tragic, what happened. But yeah, I mean, there's areas that they can improve on, and I think they will. They'll they're doing a season 2. I'm sure that they'll pick it up where it's left off, and then maybe try and add to it. Definitely. But it's enjoyable. It's good quality. It's good storytelling. I think everyone did a good job. All the performers did a good job. The animation was good. Like, I enjoyed it. It's just a solid. It's a solid, like soft opening of the DCU. I think that's like how I see it as, and it was quite a clever story in the end. But I think that last episode was probably a little bit too short. It felt a little bit rushed, even though it was a good ending to the story. I think you could have added another like 5 minutes to it at least, and just done a bit more work exploring that, and it would have probably been better. But I don't want to be too harsh because I'm a big fan of James Gunn.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he's a good storyteller, but yeah. So it's like I'm pleased with it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like the best series that's ever been made, but it's still, I think it's still very solid, enjoyable. I'll probably rewatch it because the episodes are short enough that you can rewatch it really quickly. And like Rick Flag's story is interesting. We don't see him at all in the last episode, really. Like, so basically, he's kind of had this failure, or he's been deceived. It's a bit of a mess that he's left, and he's recovering from his injuries. And so, wonder what do they do with him next? Where do they send him next? Metropolis.
Yeah, right.
With this like Superman guy, he won't play ball. I saw, actually, one thing I noticed, like, when she was getting bullied at school, one of the bullies was bald, right? Is that right? I was right with that, wasn't I? Seeing that? Like, and yeah, I don't know. I was just like, is that Lex Luthor? But it probably wasn't. It wasn't. And I don't think James Gunn said Lex Luthor's not in this. The younger version or older version or whatever. He's not in it.
Another thing Grace Randolph is wrong about. That's crazy.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Yikes.
Yes, that tweet from James Gunn about Grace Randolph is evergreen, I think.
Yeah, truer by the day.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that's good. I mean, like I'm happy with it. My favorite episode was probably episode 6. Episode 4, episode 6, probably my favorite episodes. But I enjoyed all of it. Like for a team that I wasn't familiar with, that I'd never seen in action before, it was great. I thought the Bride did a fantastic job. I forget the name of the actress, but
Indira Varma.
Oh, I know. Yes, she's brilliant. She's a great actress. She's been in a lot of different things. You'd know her if you saw her. She's very, very good.
Yeah.
And she was excellent. I think she was excellent. And it looks like they're setting up that she will be the lead of the Creature Commandos in season 2.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty cool. And that's going to be interesting to see what their mission is in season 2 and where that goes. So, and how the movies that we're getting and Peacemaker and all of that influences it. It's also going to be interesting to see how Rick Flag turns out in Peacemaker. Like, he's got a little arc going on here. Like, you had him, he's started in Creature Commandos. He's going to be in Superman, and then he's going to be a big part of Peacemaker too. So I'm really interested because now it all connects up, and you can see a little story developing. And that's a nice little subplot to follow in Superman. And follow through in Peacemaker. So I'm very curious about that, especially because there's a great Frank Grillo is great. I love him. I think he's brilliant, and I'm interested to see where that goes too. So yeah, solid start to the DCU. I think the main event is coming, and we're ready for it.
Yeah, I'm happy that JG is now with us. JG, how you doing?
Oh man, still a little tired, but I'm here.
I get it. I'm glad you caught up. What'd you think about this finale, man?
Oh man.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it was okay, but I'm still having questions I had when it first started to now. What is the point of the show? Right? Like, where are they going? Right? We know the Suicide Squad is basically those group of criminals who just, okay, well, all the heroes are doing everything else. I'm gonna send you guys in, like Will Smith said, the patsies, right? We're gonna throw you guys in there to handle all the dirty work, all the grunt work, while the real heroes do the major stuff, right? And we saw established that it's a world of heroes, but I didn't really get that with the show. And I know it wasn't primarily about them, but still, it's even in the Suicide Squad movies, there was still some. We still knew that they were in the universe. This one, like I said, this show is good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, the animation's good. The everything's good. It's just when you go from this to live action, how's it going to correlate? I'm still having questions with that. I'm sure they'll fix all that. But yeah, back to your question about what I really hate, because I was really liking Nina this episode.
Yeah.
And I would have much rather kill her off with episode 2 or something like that. Because the way to kill her off like this, it really hurts more. Because I felt sorry for her. Like, she didn't ask to be born, but she was. Her father loved her. And the mom, I don't know if I can curse like I want to, but the
Go
mom,
ahead, go ahead.
the heck with her. Like she was just, look, stood on the place, said, "Hey, this is my daughter. I love her. I can make this work." Did everything he could. Even the cross your necks thing he did. I wonder, you could explore more with that as well. And I don't know, man.
I get it. Yeah.
I just
my theory about this is that like this is again all plays into this universe that Superman is coming into is like there have been heroes in the past, but now it's become more like corporate, more government controlled. Like maybe Lex Luthor's working with the government a lot,
that's a possibility.
and obviously Max Lord as well. We know, and so superheroes are much more controlled. Like and like you have to sign up for like and I'm going to use a Marvel metaphor actually. You have to sign the equivalent of the Sokovia Accords, right? To be a
Gotcha.
superhero, right? And so like people like Batman and Wonder Woman aren't involved in that. So like they're just not involved, right? So they let them. They kind of either go into hiding or just they're already in hiding. Batman's in the shadows anyway, so they can't find him anyway. And he's also focused on Gotham quite a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, and maybe even Hal Jordan as well, right? He's just not signed up for the program. He's doing his own thing with Jon Stewart, and like, there's no but they're all kind of hidden away. They're not coming out because they get arrested if they come out and do their stuff in public. Right, and then Superman comes along, right, and Superman's very big and very public and stuff, and like he does his thing, and you know he doesn't like respect. He doesn't kind of like listen to politicians or whatever. He won't be governed about what he's going to do. He wants to just help people and save people, like we know Superman does, right? And they want him to join up with. This could be part of the Superman movie plot. They want him to join up with their thing, or he has to retire, and he won't sign up for their thing. Maybe the plot of Superman is he kind of stops doing his thing because he wants to respect the law, but then realizes they can't do without him, and he ends up saving the world anyway. And then they realize that actually they need him, and that they can't just lock him up. And maybe he makes a speech that inspires everyone, like that speech at the end of Superman Against the Authority, I think it is, or Superman Against the Elite. That speech, like the one about what he stands for, right? And that he will always stand for those things and always help people, right? And that speech maybe inspires people to like come out of their shells a bit. Maybe Batman like says, "Well, this is a guy I can work with. Like he can't be bought." Wonder Woman maybe gets impressed. Maybe Jon Stewart gets impressed. Maybe and suddenly maybe Hawk Girl, people like that think like maybe I don't need to be a corporate superhero. I can just be a hero, right? Maybe that's what Superman is all about. Maybe that's why it was originally called Superman Legacy, right? Because his legacy is that people start to be real heroes again instead of being what they've become, right? And of course that makes him a threat to Lex Luthor, and it makes him a threat to the establishment or whatever, the government, or anyone who's corrupt and bad and rich and powerful who wants to control everything, right? And this is just setting the scene for this is the world that Superman is coming into, that it's all where this stuff is going on, and it's not. There aren't really many proper heroes around at the moment, like, and it's in need of one. Maybe that's a theory. Also, remember this was written before the DCU was even a thing, so that's something else to bear in mind. But that's my theory, anyway.
Listen, the problem with the show, I think the world building and the Easter eggs are like really cool, and I think it worked. Like, I think you're right that this firmly establishes, metahumans going on missions. They're not, in it like Superman's in it for. Like, I think that's what's going to make Superman stand out and be relevant, and what's going to really work about that. like that's not my problem with the show. My problem with the show just goes back to the very storytelling of it. Like emotional moments worked, things worked, but like I'm not truly satisfied as a whole. I'm kind of left underwhelmed. I think like we didn't get full payoff the way that I wanted. Like I was telling JG, like Nina Mazursky in the first episode, like Nina was like looking at this child and she smiled at her, and then the mother took the child away, and we get that little moment of silence, and I was like, okay, I like that. We're gonna see more. We're gonna get more build up and payoff, but I didn't get that. We got maybe hints of it, but I just largely felt like the show didn't fully reach its potential. It didn't fully deliver the way I wanted it to. Like I think the post-credit scene is quite funny that Frankenstein's still in denial. He's like, she shot me. Why would she shoot me if she wasn't in love with me? I thought that was funny.
Dude,
but
that's hilarious.
But like we didn't get like a full circle arc with them. Like I get, we're gonna get season 2, we're gonna get more of it, and it's gonna look better, as we go on. But speaking about this like full season 1, I'm leaving the show a little underwhelmed and not as satisfied as I hoped. Like the trailers for Peacemaker, for example, weren't that good, but I thought I didn't let that influence my perception on the show Peacemaker. I was like, okay, trailers are not super strong, but I'm sure the show's going to be good to great, and it was. Trailers here, the first one was all right. The second one was quite good. And I thought, okay, I think we're going to get another great show with this. But that's my thing. It's not a great show. It's a good show. If I had to rate it, maybe a 7.5 out of 10, which would make it James Gunn's weakest project to me. Again, I had fun, but it just on the whole, it could have been better. James Gunn was talking about how fast he wrote the episodes. I would have spent more time on him. I would have done 8 episodes. I would have done 10 episodes. I would have done just more to beef it up. Yeah, man. I like the show. I don't want to like speak ill of it, and just, be a downer on it. I just, and this is why I saved my criticism for the very last episode, JG, because I was like, let's see what they do over the weeks.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's a good, safe start to the DCU, but the bar is high with James Gunn for me. And even with like X-Men 97, I think that set the bar for animated comic book content. And unfortunately, this did not reach that for me, which is, kind of disappointing.
I mean, I didn't expect this to reach that bar purely because X-Men is a much more well-known property with a wider audience. This is really an adult show.
The thing is, I don't think it's about that. I don't think it's about well-known versus lesser-known characters. You could take lesser-known characters and give me satisfying arcs with them. Guardians, the Suicide Squad. Like, I feel more attached to those projects than this one. I don't think it's a lesser-known versus more popular. I think it's just about execution. I think the execution with James Gunn's other projects is stronger. This one, not so much.
And maybe, maybe 35-minute episodes, those extra minutes.
It would have helped, man. It would have
helped a lot. Because, like I said, we see Nina's backstory, then he just kill her off like this. It's like, because we know Suicide Squad is anybody can go. We realize that. But, dude, we went through 7 episodes of Nina just walking around doing nothing.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. And then
you see her backstory, like, dude, she should have been the first one. At least offer off early on. Like, for me,
or
that's when I said, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm just saying, like, or keep her alive, because I feel like if you're gonna have her walk around and sort of stay quiet and be, like in the background for the majority of these episodes, at least like prop her up for season 2 and like explore. Like, you could have done more, which is underwhelming.
I think there's something to be said for this fact. This is James Gunn's first foray into animation, isn't it? I think.
True.
Like,
True.
in a different medium, and also I think that he was working on Superman at the same time. Like, I remember as a Doctor Who fan, I remember this because we had Stephen Moffat writing Doctor Who 10 years ago, but he was also writing Sherlock, and he was doing both at the same time. And when it came to like the last series of Sherlock, that you could see the stuff, the writing on that was suffering because he was doing Doctor Who at the same time, and even some of the Doctor Who episodes suffered, and it was because he was working on so much at once. He was spreading himself too thinly, and it wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is not bad, by the way. You're right.
No way.
Have a 7 out of 10 is solid. You know, I think it's like because we expect higher standards from James Gunn. I think that's what it is. Like, but yeah, it's a solid 7.5 out of 10. Absolutely, it's not like a 9 out of 10, but it's not a 6 either. So,
no,
yeah. But I mean, I'm not worried. It doesn't worry me at all. I mean, James Gunn is a good writer. If this is like his worst project, then
it's still good. Yeah.
We're doing pretty well, I think. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, you're right. It's not worrying. It's not concerning. You're right. This is his first animated project. He's gonna learn. He's gonna grow. The ending with the new roster, my boy King Shark on there.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking forward to the next season.
Cool. King Shark. I love King Shark back.
Yeah,
cool.
I've been waiting. Like I just want to make it clear. I don't think it's a bad show at all. It's still good. But yeah. I just I just wish it was stronger because I know James Gunn at his peak. And I think Superman is even gonna surpass that. So I was just hoping, you know, because I saw like the first 2 episodes were strong, and then week to week I just saw like little signs like I hope they touch on this. I hope they explore this more. And I was getting like I wish they can do more. And ultimately I don't think they, again, full potential. I just don't think it was there. I think, you know, I give, you know, criticism to Marvel Studios for making their shows 6 episodes, for making their episodes 30 minutes. And I really do have to keep that same energy with DC when they're not doing their fullest. And I think, you know, James Gunn, I think he's online. He's going to listen. He's going to, you know, I think he's going to improve. But I really wanted to love this, man. I really wanted to. And like performances, I think everyone was perfectly cast. Animation, thought it was very cool. Action, particularly in the first 2 episodes, I thought was strong. Like it's all good, but we know James Gunn for great. So when he doesn't deliver that, you can't help but feel a little underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I was hoping for Invincible season 1 level, far as excitement because of the animation and what they were doing. It was like, okay, something new. I knew Invincible was around, but I haven't heard of it until I saw that cartoon. And so with these new characters, I'm like, okay, could be Invincible level to where something fresh, something new, and can intrigue me, and get me like, okay, I can't wait for season 2. And I would have much rather this episode been Weasel's episode with his backstory. So because it kind of coincided with him saving the princess, or attempting to save the princess.
Yeah, it would have made sense, wouldn't it? You could have,
it would have made more sense.
And then you could still have little flashbacks to Nina's origin in this right at the moment of her death. Like you could still have that, you know, like, but yeah. It looks like something that he basically just wrote and that was it. There was no kind of time to really hone it and like, you know, like get it really right. That he kind of went straight into writing Superman and gave that all his energy. Rightly so, by the way.
I think that's very evident that he was. I mean, Superman's the GOAT, of course. Give you all your energy to Superman, but I do think that this is a case of that James Gunn shouldn't do it again in terms of
don't buy more than we can chew. Basically,
I think he said that as well. Like he said, like I've written like I think he said like 700 pages
Yeah, and he said he was exhausted. He was like,
Yeah, like you said, they've never
after
been-
Superman was done, he was like, I'm like spent, dog. And I'm like,
he's
I
like,
get it, but I do think you need to give each project, you know, its own like true identity, and it's, you know, it's you know, you need to focus on one thing at a time, basically.
Mhm.
Because
like,
I feel like if he would have, Creature Commandos would have been stronger as a whole, because his full attention would be on deliverance of arcs and all this stuff.
Yeah.
my bet is season 2 will be better.
I definitely think it will be. I just, you know, I would have loved to see certain characters move forward. Like I was like, Nina in live action would be super cool, and I think she was the only sort of, I mean, Weasel can't speak, but you know, she was
Yeah.
the only like speaking moral
Mhm.
centered to the team. And now you've lost that, and now we have the bride leading 2 animals that cannot talk. You have her leading Dr. Phosphorus, who, you know, is a bad guy, but you know, you understand where he's coming from. And then GI Robot, who's again not a human. Like I feel like Nina was the piece of the puzzle that like helped the team overall, but now you've just killed her off. You've lost her. Not to say that another character can't step in and serve that role, but I just don't think that killing off Nina in the long run was like the best idea. Like I think, you know, you wrote a strong female character, and I don't want to say she was like fridged, but like you could have done more. And that's,
Yeah.
you know, that's what I'm continuing to harp on and speak on, is the potential was not fully met. And yeah, I'm just like a broken record with it, but I really wanted to love it. It's not great. It's good. And I do think from now on, James Gunn should focus on one project at a time, because this was really like the true test. Could he do it? He still did a good job, but you know, we want the best product we can have. And I don't think this was the best version of what, you know, Creature Commandos could have been.
To be fair, I think James Gunn's had like, I mean, the last 2 years, 3 years, really, like he's been like so busy. I mean, he's been, he had Guardians of the Galaxy 3 come out, and he was writing Superman when he was doing that, and then he was writing Peacemaker 2 as well. And before that, he'd just written Creature Commandos, and then they all have to go into production, really, like one on top of the other. And he's trying to run the creative side of DC Studios at the same time. And like, yeah, I mean, I don't think Superman will suffer. I think Superman is the reason.
Nah.
Superman is the reason that we suffered with Creature Commandos. I honestly think that, like, because he's probably had to put so much energy into Superman and getting that right, because it has to be right, it has to work. Like, yeah, the other things may have suffered, but he has said, like, I'm never doing that again. So from now on, I think it's going to be like one project every couple of years. You know, maybe he writes Creature Commander season 2 and while he's directing a movie, but that's all. Like, we're not going to get 3 projects that he's working on at the same time.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah,
and he didn't direct as much of Peacemaker season 2 anyway. He directed like 2 or 3 episodes, not 6 or 7. So, you know, because it was just after Superman. So, yeah, and I think, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to whatever, to see whatever he's doing after Superman, whatever his next film is.
Yeah, listen, it's important to say that like the MCU wasn't built in a day. Like they
Iron Man 2, like,
yeah,
Oh, God, I hated that movie.
yeah. I mean,
I love that movie, but it's like, it's not like as good as Iron Man 1. It's not.
Right.
Not
I still like that movie, by the way.
I love
I can't stand it.
That's one of my movies that I'll always defend. But like, objectively, when you like, it's not of the same quality as Iron Man 1 or like, you know, or the first Avenger or whatever. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? They had Incredible Hulk as well. Like,
I like that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but you know what I'm saying, right? It's
Yeah,
not like, it's the same. It's like, it's good, but it's not like what you wanted it to be, kind of thing. So Marvel had the same thing starting out, like, but their first big project, which was Iron Man, was a hit.
Yeah.
And that's what Superman is for DC. Like, this is not their first big project. This is like a appetizer. Like, it's not the main course, you know.
Yeah.
The main course is coming in July, and as long as that works, then DC will be fine. Like, if that works, then DC are good. DC Studios are good.
Yeah, while I'm like kind of unsatisfied and underwhelmed, like I was saying, like the MCU was not built in a day. We had to go through mistakes and issues and course corrections for it to reach its like peak. Like Creature Commandos is still good, but James Gunn is he's gonna live, he's gonna learn, he's gonna improve. And you're right, Superman is like the first true test. You know, we're gonna inevitably run into not as great products or you know, even bad projects, but you know, as long as the whole thing overall is you know, up and running, that's what matters. And Creature Commandos did its job in terms of setting up metahumans as very corporate, very militarized. Like they did the job, they just could have done it better, you know.
Yeah, then that's it. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, and we got a glimpse of Batman, which is good. We know Batman exists.
Yeah, Easter eggs were super fun. Yeah.
Like, you know, we kind of got a glimpse of other characters that exist in this universe. So it's like, and you know, I mean, like Clayface. We're getting a Clayface movie.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm even more. I mean, I thought Clayface was like had a nice little subplot in this show, which was quite interesting. And I'm looking forward to that movie. I can't wait to see how they've got to direct it. I'm sure we'll find that out soon as well.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited for that.
And who's going to play Clayface as well? Like,
that's the question.
Yeah,
because they're apparently looking for someone in their 20s. So
yeah,
you know,
so that's
young.
going to be very interesting. So yeah, there's lots of stuff to come. Supergirl starts shooting this week, I think, or next week.
Next week, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, let's
David
go.
Corenswet's in London or something. Like, they're talking about him being in the movie, which I have been talking about with a friend of mine, how he might have a scene in the movie, maybe at the end or at the beginning or both. Like, yeah,
Maybe sending off Crypto with to watch over Supergirl.
Yeah.
I could see
and
that.
then, and at the
Okay.
end, like, and maybe at the end, like she comes back and
Mhm.
like, and she, and like I had this thought, like she might say, like, how did you know I was okay? How did you know I was a good person? And he's like, well, Crypto told me. Like, you know, who knows? Like, Crypto
That's sweet. Yeah.
is like, yeah. But I really want to see Superman and Supergirl interact. Like, that would be so much fun.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
If
very
they have
interesting. I can't wait to see it.
if they have like Lobo and Superman in the Supergirl movie, I mean, Superman is like an absolute cameo, like one scene or something, 1-2 scenes. Like, I don't know, that movie's going to be so awesome. It's going to be so awesome. I cannot wait for it. I'm really pumped for that. Supergirl.
Yeah, I think the world building, the Easter eggs, it was all fun and well executed. I think they did their job in terms of setting up this world that now Superman's going to be introduced in. We have a little context to what the metahuman situation looks like. And the future is bright. The future is exciting. Creature Commandos season 2 got King Shark on the team. Like, I'm naturally looking forward to that and seeing if James Gunn can step up his game. I think there's always room for improvement, and I think we're gonna, James Gunn is gonna pay attention, and it's gonna be very interesting to see how he evolves as not only a writer and director in the DC universe, but as a studio head. Like, this is the start of the journey. It's a solid start so far, and we're gonna progress, and hopefully DC just shows up, man. I mean, even with me feeling unsatisfied and underwhelmed, and I don't think this is a great show. People largely at least enjoyed it. People at least liked it. I think it was a success in that regard, that it wasn't, the first project of the DCU was not a misfire. So, try and put a positive spin on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you've got to think about bad the DC brand has been doing. You
Mhm.
know, like even good movies. Like I will die on the hill that the Blue Beetle is a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Hell
Oh
that's
yeah, love
because
that
of,
movie.
that suffered because of the actors strike and suffered because of the DC brand being toxic, right? I think I said to John before, like if that movie was released in like 2 or 3 years' time under the DCU, under DC Studios, with proper promotion and everything, I think that the movie does really well. Like not like spectacular well, but like 500, 600 million kind of well, like because it's a good movie. And it just suffered with a lot of things. I'm going to defend that movie till the day I die, and I'm really glad we're going to get that Blue Beetle back
Yeah,
because
man.
that Blue Beetle is really cool.
Perfect casting. Cholo's perfect.
And
Mhm.
also that opens up historic DCU because you've got Ted Cord who was Blue Beetle in like the 90s or something
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
that movie, right? Which makes sense, right? And then that means you could set Blue Beetle in the 90s, not Blue Beetle, Booster Gold. You could set Booster Gold in the 90s and have that Blue Beetle in it, and then him time travel to now and meet another Blue Beetle or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because he's time travel. So that's what I'm. So that kind of thing is like that. That kind of thing is really cool. And he's mentioned Superman. He mentioned Superman in that movie, which is cool because now we know he's meaning David Corenswet Superman, which is really cool. So yeah.
The
Yeah, but
crossovers are gonna hit like crack, bro. It's gonna
like
be incredible.
like the Lobo Superman. I need that. I need that in my life. That has to happen, man. Like I need them to have a like. I don't know what we want to fight, but I suppose that's what they have to do, isn't it? But like, I need them to meet and have an interaction and stuff because it'll be funny. Because David Crockford's a good actor who can do humor, like Superman's kind of humor, and then you've got Lobo, who Jason Momoa is gonna absolutely kill that role. He's gonna absolutely. I'm actually worried he might overshadow Supergirl in her own movie. I
Hmm.
hope he doesn't, like because I want Supergirl to be about Supergirl and be her movie because I mean, Millie Alcock is incredible casting.
Thank
And
you, James Gunn. Give me my check. Thank you.
I love Millie Alcock. She's a great actress, and she's just right for this kind of Supergirl it's going to be. This kind of grief-stricken, wounded, kind of jaded Supergirl who's been through a lot of stuff and hasn't had like Clark's upbringing, but has had a very difficult one, and so is a different kind of character. This is what Supergirl's meant to be. So she's perfect for that. So I'm really up. And the graphic novel that it's based on is amazing. If you've not read it, I would highly recommend it. Woman of Tomorrow. It's amazing. So if it's anything like that, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be different because it's got Lobo in it, but you know, yeah, like I'm excited about that movie, and yeah, I think it's and because it's a woman-led superhero so early in the DCU, I think that's a good thing as
Oh yeah.
well. Really positive thing to have. And then I'm sure we'll get Wonder Woman movie and Huntress movie and all of that down the road as well. So yeah, but that starts shooting this next week.
Yeah.
God,
And
man.
Lantern sometime this month as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
man.
I
Oh,
mean,
that's
it can only go up from here. I mean, even though I've said some things about this episode,
Mhm.
the series was good. It was
Yeah.
a good series. Like
no
it's
mistake. No
it's
mistake.
like an essay that's really good. Where you have a lot of these red marks on it, like just fix this, fix that,
Mhm.
do something with this. That's all this is. My advice, of course, he's not listening, but well, he could be that keeps stealing my ideas. But I would prefer that they don't have the big bads to face up against. Like I think they should like the B class villains. I think those are good enough for the Suicide Squad to take on. Like I don't want to see a top tier Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman villain against the Suicide Squad. I don't want to see that because, like we saw with the Bride, I don't want to see Wonder Woman struggling with Cersei and the Bride is doing everything she wanted. I don't want to see that. But you know, like JP said, you know, hey, first time doing something. I'm sure he's learned from his mistakes. Season 2, I'm ready for it. It's gonna be interesting.
Also, enough of these 3 in the morning EST
Yes.
times. The conversation for this show should not be where it was, okay? Because they speak about it for maybe 2 hours online. By the time I wake up at like 9 or 10 o'clock, the conversation's dead in the water. It's done. That's not good.
You see, like for me, it's like that is all about. Oh, I have to watch it immediately it drops. When you probably don't. You could probably wake up at 8 in the morning and watch it then. But I get what you're saying, right? 3 a.m. is a weird time to drop it, because that's what that's 3 a.m. EST it drops.
Yeah.
So that's 8. That's midnight. That's midnight Pacific time.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Right. So that's why. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. I mean, we haven't even got it in the UK yet, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even been advertised anywhere. It's not out anywhere.
That's not good.
If I hadn't been doing this with you guys, I wouldn't have been able to watch it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would, and that would have, regardless of what we think of it, I would have been sad about that. So, I'm glad I got to see it. So, yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's lessons to learn. There's always lessons to learn early on when you're starting out. There's kind of teething problems. For me, one of the things they need to figure out is they need to drop everything in everywhere all the time at the same time.
Yeah.
You can't be dropping series. It's okay with Creature Commando to drop it a few months different, I suppose. But when it's like Lanterns, I'm not waiting 3 months longer than everybody else to watch Lanterns and having
It's
it
not
spoiled.
fair. It's not fair.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta sort it out long before. You need to be sorting out now. Who are we gonna drop it? Where are we gonna drop it? Make sure we drop it everywhere at once. And for goodness sake, give us flipping HBO Max in the UK.
How is that not a thing yet? Honestly, I'm baffled.
Apparently it's coming 2027 or something.
That's insanity.
Wow.
Insanity.
It's just give it to us, because take my money. I want to give you money for this. And I know part of it is because of contractual stuff they have with people in the UK already to show stuff, but it just means you get it later. So just give us Max in the UK. I'm moving to the US this year anyway, so it won't be an issue. From this September, I'll have Max anyway in the US. But yeah, honestly, sort it out. I've just seen some of the merch that's dropped. Creature Commandos merch. It's pretty awesome. They've got sports jerseys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not just t-shirts. I probably won't get any of that because I've got to save my money for all the Superman merch that's going to come out later in the year.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah.
I'm already going bankrupt, So yeah, but I'm good. I'm glad they're creating all that merch now. Good. Yeah, but Lanterns, the cast they've got for that is awesome. That's going to be awesome. I have high expectations for that in terms of the quality. I think it's going to, I think it's going to be up near Penguin quality. I really do.
Oh yeah,
I hope
HBO, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. So, yeah. I mean, the DC studios have had they've got off to a decent start. They had the Superman documentary, which has done really well. It's criminal that's not been nominated for an Oscar.
An actual crime. I'm
astounded. No, it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it should have won, but nominated at least. And then the Penguin, which was incredible, and got loads of awards, and should have got another one. It's again criminal that Kristen Milioti didn't win an award for her portrayal in that show, but we're going to get season 2 of that as well, so that's going to be cool. Probably after the next Batman, so 2030 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a whole other can of worms, dog. That's crazy.
And then and now we've had this, so it's a decent start. I don't think DC Studios have had a bomb yet. They haven't had something that's really, really bad and has completely flopped yet. So, and hopefully that continues. And Superman is the biggest success they've had so far. I'm manifesting that. I'm manifesting Superman as $1 billion movie, which gets huge ratings from fans, critics, and the general public and everyone. So, because that will be the final nail in the coffin for the Snyder Bros. Like,
It really would. Yeah.
Superman does $1 billion, then they're like, they'll be resorting to like, oh, they paid people to watch it, like, that kind
Oh
of
yeah.
thing. Yeah, because a studio can afford to pay billions of dollars, like to get people to get their film to make a profit. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, there's no logic in that. So anyway, yeah,
For sure. It's almost time to look up, and I'm, the future is bright. We've said what we've said on Creature Commandos. The only thing, like, I would just literally be repeating myself for like the 4th time on what I've already said. I really have got it out of my system. But to put a positive spin on it, it's a solid show. It could have gone much worse compared to the DCEU. This is a nice soft start. And there's always room to grow. There's always room to learn. Healthy criticism, it's important. It doesn't mean that you're a blind hater. It doesn't mean this or that. But it is important to, see where you can improve. And that's how we get better content out of it. So solid show. And we'll see what season 2 is about when we get updates on that. But JP, JG, any final thoughts on Creature Commando season 1?
It was a fun ride. I enjoyed it. Doing the live streams, and I was surprised how good this was, because when they were first talking about it coming out, I'm like, Creature Commandos, were they? What? Oh, I don't know. But I'm looking, I'm like, wow, okay, this is funny. I'm digging it. And even though there were, of course, any show will have its flaws, right? Except for Penguin, of course. But a lot of shows will have their flaws.
Yeah.
And this had its flaws, but it can only go up from here. And so I'm excited for what's coming season 2. I'm excited for the DCU in general, because, man, this is Gunn. It's your time to strike. Strike now, because MCU, like Deadpool said, MCU's on the downside right now.
You're joining at a bit of a low point.
It's in a low point. So yes, this is your opportunity to strike gold. Get all the haters. Hey, Snyder cultists, if you're gonna hate the movie, at least go watch it. Please go watch it. Spend your money to go see it, please. We need it. Thank you. And James Gunn, give me my check, buddy. Alcock, that was my pick. I was the only one on live stream that ever said that's my pick. I want my check. I'm done.
Well, I enjoyed it. Solid writing, good character arcs. Some of them didn't, could have been a little bit better, but it's still good. It's still enjoyable. I enjoy getting to know these characters. I'm looking forward to season 2, and it's a nice appetizer for the DCU. And like we move. We got Superman to come. And we got Supergirl. We got Lanterns. It's just going to get better and better, I'm sure. The DCU is up and running, and I'm excited about what's to come. So, yeah, and absolutely with JD on that Supergirl casting, brilliant. Couldn't be better in every role, including Lobo. Like, yeah, I mean, Lobo is probably going to be one of the. I think Lobo is going to be one of the all-time castings, like Robert Downey Jr. and of course Aaron Pierre as well. Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, the lineup could not be, like, we could have like projects and coming up that are like, yeah, I'm not super hyped on it, but the next one, no, the Superman, Supergirl, Lanterns, like straight heat across the board. Like I'm so excited for each individual project
as well. We forgot Peacemaker 2.
Yeah,
yeah. I love Peacemaker 1, and I was surprised how good that was. So
yeah,
Gunn can do his thing. Just take your time and make it right. That's it.
Yeah.
And one more thing, Pierre, I picked him before that movie he was in came out. Superwise, you know this. I said, hey, he's my pick right there. I said it. Now everyone
Okay.
jumps on the bandwagon. Give me my check, James Gunn. Give me my check. I
Okay,
need money.
Jackie, I'm trusting your judgment now because it seems to be really good. Where's your pick for Batman? The DC?
I wouldn't have asked that.
Okay, so
Just one, like, just a name. Like, doesn't I don't want to need an explanation.
I got because I'm bad with names. I got to figure. I know Superwise is the one guy. He's on my top 3 list, but
Yeah.
My top one, yeah.
it he's number 3 for me. But he will be number 1 if these weren't just my dark horse. Like I just want them to do it. The guy that's in Superwise, you know the guy I'm talking about. I always said I want to be
Reacher, right?
Yeah, Reacher. Him, he's one of them.
Alan Richardson.
okay.
Alan Richardson, and just because he has to build, he's done a superhero thing before in that BS show. I don't even want to name it, and he
Alan Richardson. Nah, I don't see that. But
can do really need to do to be Batman, except for Bruce Wayne. But my number 1, let me find his name.
It's not Theo, is it?
Theo.
Okay.
Theo's my number 1. He just has
Theo
that
James.
look. Theo J. He just has that look. He has that Bruce Wayne look. I think he'll look good with the cowl because he has that jawline. It's perfect for
I
it.
can see it. I can definitely see it. Like, although he's been tipped to be James Bond.
He'll make a good James Bond as well.
He's got charisma, man. I'm rooting for him. He's in this movie called The Monkey coming up. Like, I'm happy to see him pop up in more things. I think
was the where he played that character called Four
in Divergent. Yeah.
That's yeah. He was good in that. Yeah. I did not know he was freaking British until I saw him.
He is British as well.
Yeah.
Another British Batman after Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson. It'll be another British Batman. He'd be good if they picked him. I'd be perfectly happy with that. But
for sure,
I don't think he would do it because he has so much going on. But he's just my dark horse number 1 pick.
He's got the eyes. That's the thing. Batman. It's always the eyes. It's the eyes.
If anybody goes to see White Lotus season 2, he's like one of the main characters in it. That brooding look he gives, like the way he throws out his lines, is very jerkish, Bruce Wayne-ish kind of thing he does, right?
Yeah, 100% get that. Yeah,
he would be perfect, but
he would do a great job. But yeah, we'll see. They've got to have a script before they cast it, haven't they? So
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Batman fans are kind of like low key, like they're like suffering right now. I'm like,
they're going through what Superman fans have been going through.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If anyone has to suffer, it's Batman fans. Okay. And I'm a Batman fan, but Superman is like, he's priority as he should.
Yeah, 100%. And we're getting that this year. So
they'll learn.
6 months in 2 days, actually. Oh, man. 11th of July.
That's wild, bro. Yeah, we're so close. But yeah, I mean, exciting to talk about the DCU with you guys. It's been a delight as always to do these live watch parties. And JP, starting with you, where can people find you?
Well, I've got a podcast called Poema Podcast, which is spelled poem, but with an A on the end of it. The new season starts next week. And that's all about, it's about a lot of different things, but we talk about movies and pop culture and superheroes. And we also talk about things like mental health and grief and going through stuff like that as well. So you can check that out. There's about 280 episodes or something like that. I've been doing it for 9 years, so you can check that out. And I'm on, so just go and find me there. Give it a listen.
Hell yeah. JG
Shaolin Terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. What? You can always catch me live Wednesday nights on the OOC with those Onzo, aka the Abbott and the Osiris of the bleep, the Spliff King, the Professor of Gunja, alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Going to be Irie. No woman, no cry. Saturdays on Square One with those Danny, the amazing, outstanding, the charismatic, always man of the hour. Dr. Says the illest because he suffers from that realness. And as always, my brother, my homie, El Príncipe de Nueva York, Superwise. always catch me with the great one. Not
Yeah.
Dwayne.
That's what's up.
I was gonna say not Dwayne.
God no.
My man, super wise legend. This is great. The next one,
Absolutely.
I suppose, will be for the next Superman trailer, I guess.
Yeah, I'm thinking February Super Bowl.
I think
Okay.
Super Bowl we're going to get something because it's too obvious, like Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Like, you
even Fantastic Four. I'm hoping for a trailer, so I think that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah,
I
like
hope so.
like we're going to be for more for the halftime stuff than we are for the actual Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I got to time that properly because we did that for Quantum Mania, dog.
Oh god,
We were
no,
waiting
don't
for
bring
like
that
4
up.
hours. It PTSD fueled, bro.
Also, the Puppy Bowl beforehand. There's been rumor that James Gunn might be there because he loves his adopted dogs and stuff, and Crypto's in the movie. You know,
Interesting.
like the Puppy Bowl. By the way, it's awesome. If you like dogs, like who doesn't like dogs? Everyone loves dogs. It's just so much fun, and it's for a good cause because all the puppies get adopted to good homes, which is really cool.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's it's really good. I've watched it. My wife got me into it, and I love it. Unfortunately, it's not available in the UK. The actual Super Bowl is, but not the Puppy Bowl. But
Interesting. I wasn't
it's a thing
into
every
that,
year,
but yeah.
every year, and it's literally like a proper game with dogs like competing for this, like moving this ball down the pitch and stuff, and they have like proper commentators and everything. Like it's just really good fun. Like
No, I might have to check that out. That sounds cute.
I like it'd be cool if James Gunn was like involved in it somewhere, like promoting Superman.
Imagine the boost in viewership that would get. That would be pretty fun.
Well, yeah, imagine if you had Crypto like there. You could just do a CGI Crypto somehow.
Or Gunn brings in his own dog, Ozu, I think.
Oh yeah, like his own dog's an adopt dog, isn't it? So
Yeah.
a rescue dog. He's big about rescue dogs. Actually, he's done a bit of that on his socials. Like, so yeah, I'm sure he watches Puppy Bowl because he loves dogs, doesn't he? So like, yeah, it makes sense if they did something like. It's free promotion. Like he doesn't even have to do a trailer. He can just promote Superman, like just there. Like, yeah,
It's kind of easy marketing. No, I agree.
Yeah, like I tell you, Crypto is going to get so many people into cinemas to see that movie.
The merch too. If they release like a crypto hoodie, dog, I'm on that. Like, yeah,
they should release Crypto like dog collars.
I like that. Yeah, just go next level with the marketing and the promotion.
That's going to bring loads of kids and women in to see Superman. Like people who wouldn't normally watch a Superman movie because Crypto's in it. Like my sister's excited about it about Superman because Crypto's in it. Like she's like, oh, it's a dog. Oh, he's so cute. Like, and she wants to see it. So like,
yeah, the next like Grogu or the next Baby Groot. Yeah. Let's make that happen. Yeah,
there's gonna be loads of dogs. There's gonna be lots of toys and like they've already done an animated. Haven't they done an animated show already? But like, I don't know.
Yeah, early 2000s. But it'd be really cool for Gunn to be involved in some new form of that. Yeah.
Crypto is a Christmas special waiting to happen, isn't it? So,
yeah.
And he might be in Supergirl because in the comic book of Woman of Tomorrow, Crypto is a big part of the story, actually. So, I have a feeling that Crypto's going to go off at the end of Superman to be with her for some reason.
Yeah, I think Superman will be like, you need to go with her, watch over her, because she's the little cousin. So
Yeah.
I think that works. Yeah,
I still think one of them. I still have this theory that Lex Luthor is holding loads of metahumans captive because that's what, like in the trailer, you see all those glass containers.
Metamorphose in one of them. Yeah,
and I think she's in one of them. Like I think Supergirl's in one of them, and she's not Supergirl yet. She's not knows who she is because he caught her before she got a chance to be Supergirl. And Superman just saves her, like yeah. But Superman clearly gets captured, doesn't he? Because he's in one of those glass containers and then just like, here's someone needs help and just like thinks, right, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, like I've had enough. Yeah.
Like that's a kick-ass moment. I can't wait for that moment. That's going to be because they can't hold him.
Summer of Superman, bro. It's our time. It's our time, baby.
It's coming. Like, yeah. Yeah, we might even get another trailer in like a month. When is the Super Bowl?
February 11th, 12th, something like that.
A month's time.
Yeah, it's true.
Ooh, that's gonna be good. Like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'd even take like a TV spot or some
Maybe,
form of footage.
maybe like a 30 second.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Hold up.
I'll take 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Yeah. Anyway.
You didn't misspeak. You spoke from the heart. You want 30 minutes? We
Yeah, I
gotta
do.
manifest.
I want 30 minutes. That's it. I want 30 minutes, like exclusive. Like.
Oh man, yeah. But Superman baby, cannot wait. And Creature Commandos. It's been a fun ride. Can't wait to continue it. That's been the stream, guys. Thanks so much for watching week to week. It's always a pleasure to be with these guys, and it's always a pleasure for people to pop in the live chat and interact. And we'll see you next time, man. Until then, take care.
Take care, everyone.